about the same old things. Talking about money, honey, status, power, and fame. But I'm here to tell you about that name. And if you haven't heard it yet, then your whole world about to change.
All women are queens. If she breathes, she's a thought!
Talk about Jesus. Talking about Jesus. Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm talking about Jesus. Ooh, stop.
Hey Jesus.
Hey Carlos.
This video isn't meant to be offensive to you at all because I genuinely think you probably existed and there's probably a lot to be said for you.
Yes? What are you talking about?
Well, in this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about you, and I'm not going to be talking shit about you or anything, just my experience about what people did with what you said after you deaded. Do you know what I mean, Jesus?
Okay, Carlos, I'm not sure what you mean. Could you please elaborate?
Okay, Jesus, I'll elaborate. Today, motherfuckers. Today, we're gonna talk about church and sex. So I used to be a #church girl who goes to church and reads her Bible. Church was my life. Christianity was my life. I didn't go 3 minutes without thinking about God. As part of my time being like an avid churchgoer and a uber Christian, I made a lot of observations about the church and their relationship and attitude towards sex and sexuality, all of that jazz. And I want to talk about that. I want to dive back into religion because I'm very traumatized with my experience with religion, but sometimes it's good to revisit trauma, you know, just for the lolsies and also just because it's interesting. So let's go. Woo! Welcome to my bed, motherfuckers. I hope you are equipped with some protection or a second skin, as they might call it, because we're about to get deep into this. Okay, let's talk about sex before marriage. Growing up in the church, sex before marriage wasn't something that was really encouraged. When I was 14, I told everyone that I was absolutely not gonna have sex before marriage. I thought that that was like super fucking sinful. Jesus did not want me to have sex before marriage. He wanted me to find a man, one man, get with him, get married, and then have sex with him, and then have his babies. I thought that that's what would happen to me in life. And then when I was 16, I found myself in church asking God for forgiveness because, Jesus, it was just a little blowjob, please forgive me. I managed to forgive myself because just one little blowjob never hurt nobody, did it? But then a month later, it became, Lord, please, it was just a tip. But then a month after that, it was not just one little dip. I fucked. My virginity is gone. God, I don't know what happened, God. I must have dropped it on my way home from school. I don't know where it's gone. Oh my God. It's been flushed down the toilet. It's gone forever. My virginity is gone. Oh my God. I'm impure. Am I impure? It was gone. And you cannot replace that shit. Oh my God, where is it? Oh God. It's gone. It's fucking gone. I felt a lot of shame after I fucked for the first time because from what I heard, God loved virginity. And the fact that I had given that virginity away, I knew he wasn't happy with me. I mean, the blowjob was okay. God didn't mind that, I don't think. The dip in was fine. The contact between penis and vagina, that was kind of okay, but virginity, my virginity flew away like a little bird, and my self-worth also flew away like a jumbo jet. I think from that point onwards, I had to compartmentalize my church self from my real self. I was like going into church and I felt like everyone could see that I was not a virgin. And I didn't want them to hate me because church was like my social life and my family. I loved church. Church was like my favorite place. The shame that I felt from walking into church was just like awful. I felt like an imposter. It was horrible. And thus I became the whore of Babylon. Woohoo, motherfucker. So anyway, that's all for virginity. Yes. Okay, broskies, now we need to talk about modesty.
All women
this was reasonably okay in church. The church I went to wasn't like completely strict, but this shit, the shoulders, the non-existent cleavage, this was too much. I think I once went to church in a vest top like this, and I did feel like the whore of Babylon, really did. And I think I was wearing a top like this to church, and the vicar made some passing comment in his sermon about you should be careful about what you're wearing around other people so that you're not tempting men. I mean, I was probably like 14, 15 at that point. There really shouldn't have been much that was tempting about me. I mean, I had even less boobs then than I have now. And that's saying something. So God loved my virginity, but he hated my boobs? Dude! The pressure to like hide yourself and to stop people from being tempted was very much put onto the girls in church. I never once heard someone mention anything about boys wearing tops, you know, that reveal that bicep, bitch. I saw boys in church wearing exceedingly skinny jeans, exceedingly figure hugging. No one said anything about that. Just to be clear, that is not a complaint. The final thing I would like to talk about is sexuality. So let's just move into the room of sexuality.
I know that you're keeping me strength when I'm weak and expect me to carry on. I know that the Lord is preparing me for great things. But on days when it's hard to believe, hey, I wanna live right now, life above every blessing.
Finally, broski, we need to talk about sexuality. Whenever I think about the church and sexuality, I think about being in a Bible study with my youth leader. Someone asked my youth leader, like, what do you think about gayness? What's that about? Like, what do you think? I think she was kind of trying to say that bisexuality and homosexuality didn't really exist. She said something along the lines of, if anyone touches you in the right way, it will feel good.
If anyone touches you in the right way, it will feel good.
What do you mean? Therefore, if you're gay, it's low-key because you're choosing to be gay, because if you just got into a relationship with someone of the opposite sex like you're supposed to do, then you'd probably find you enjoyed it just as much. You're just choosing to be difficult, you little motherfucking bitch-ass bitch. What do you mean? I remember rolling that over and over in my head. If anyone touched you in the right way...
If anyone touches you in the right way, it will feel good.
Oh my god, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because I know that for me, if a girl touched me, I would feel good. In fact, there's quite a lot of specific girls who I can think of who, if they touched me, would feel really fucking good. And if this is true, then everyone feels like that, right? Most straight girls would love to be touched by a girl just like I do, wouldn't they? Wouldn't they? Turns out, fun fact, most girls who are actually straight, like genuinely heterosexual, no, they wouldn't want to be touched by a girl. That's kind of the point. If my previous youth leader is watching this, I'm really sorry, honey. I didn't want to break it to you like this, but gay. And apparently the vicar agreed with her, which means the vicar is also gay. I spent many years thinking I was just a regular straight person who was attracted to girls and fantasized about being touched by girls, just like any other straight girl. My church never really made their mind up about what they thought about homosexuality. Like, they were all low-key homophobic. If you ever asked them what their specific views on homosexuality was, they would say, oh yeah, well, you know, you can be gay, that's fine, but it's like the decision to have anal sex, because it always ended up being about anal, because for some reason lesbians don't really exist according to the church. Anyway, it wasn't being attracted to guys that was wrong, it was choosing to do that sodomy, choosing to do that thing, that whatever the fuck those lesbians do. But then if you actually ask them, like, what do you think of like gay relationships, they would say and say some stupid shit like they did then, saying,
well, if anyone touches you in the right way, it would feel good, right?
no, you're just gay. I love this shit. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about that. Okay. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure what the point of this video was. I just wanted to get some thoughts that I've been having about the church out of my head and into the world. I really don't want anyone to take this as an offense because it's really not. I don't know what I think about religion. I don't know where I am with spiritual shit or any of that. I did take a big step away from all things church and all things religion for a while because I really needed to, because my head was fucked. My brain was fucked in relation to what I thought about church or whatever, and it was like I low-key couldn't function for ages and ages and ages. I'm just interested in everything at the moment. I'm so open-minded. I've gone to visit a church recently because I felt in a good enough headspace to do that without getting my brain fucked again. I'm not going to put a label on myself. I don't know if I'm an atheist, agnostic, or whatever. This was just some observations that I made about sex and the church. I think I might do some more videos about church and religion and shit because I find it fascinating. I would love to go and interview some vicars and visit some churches and just make some little documentary style videos. I just think it's so fascinating. I think it's so interesting to talk to people who have completely different belief systems. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable and interesting. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Lots and lots and lots of love, you beautiful human being. Stay safe!
Even